squash this morning for breakfast. I ate squash this morning for breakfast.
It was good. It
This
was good
stuff
squash.
right here.
Not this. No, you used
No,
acorn.
right. It was acorn squash for breakfast.
Do you not? You can't flip it?
I can, but my camera is crappy on the other side.
Oh, that's true.
Hey guys, so this is Megan Knorpp.
Hi.
And we're so excited. So she suggested the Deer Creek Reservoir State Park. And this won't be up for a couple days, so nobody will be able to hunt
And
you
we'll be
down.
out of here by then.
Right? And we're here in her bedroom, and we've looked at her RV. And any of you that watch her channel, which is Knorpp, not Versus, Knorpp and South. Mm-hmm. Why did I want to say Versus?
Yeah. Oh.
Sometimes it's like that in RV. So they're Knorpp and South, and they have 9 kids plus themselves in this RV.
Which is less than 400 square feet. We think it's about 375. So.
And ours is an 8x20, but we only have 2 kids. And so being in the
How many
RV,
square feet would that be?
that
160?
is 8 times 20.
160?
160 square feet, and a little dog.
So that's 40 square feet per person. So we would have 440 square feet. Is that right?
Yeah. And well, and the thing is a lot of this space, when you count the floor plan, you have to account for the fact that a lot of that is closet, a lot of that is bed. It's not walking space. And so in ours, like, we have one little walkway down the middle, and none of the rest of it is like living space. It's all sleeping space, which is the same here. Is tables, you can't really count that as walking space. Closets, you can't count it as walking space. And so it translates differently.
Yeah, so like we put everything on the walls that we can, which makes it kind of ugly. It was so pretty when we finished it.
Right.
And then we're like, okay, now we have to get everything in here. And then hooks, and weird, curtains and towels.
But you have to.
I know, we have to.
Because it translates, like for us, we left with 1 cast iron pan and 1 pressure cooker, and 1 mixing bowl was all we had. And then we got out and I had to add 1 cooking pot, and it was 1 too many. Now we have too many dishes, but if you don't have dishes, you're eating out. And so it's like somebody compared it to a huge game of Tetris.
Oh, it is. All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and it's exhausting because even like I realize now what a consumer I was before.
Yeah.
Like how like even just like pick up a couple t-shirts at Target or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, and then I put them in my closet and eventually I have no room left in my closet. And so now I'm trying to figure out, because I haven't been able to buy new t-shirts from Target, very often. So now they're all junky, and I'm realizing I probably need to buy higher quality.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
We've had to move to aprons, like aprons everywhere we go, because they've already worked through a set of clothes each.
Oh, I'm sure.
And we've only been out for a month.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
And so every time we stop, like if we've stopped anywhere that people love us, I have to take 1 garbage sack, like a normal garbage sack, not a grocery bag, of stuff out of the RV and leave it at a thrift store in order to have room to function at that point. Because somehow, magically through the air, things accumulate.
Totally. And we're actually kind of scared about Christmas.
Right?
We're just in talks about what are we going to do for Christmas, because we still want it to be magical for our kids. And while we only did 3 presents per child, but that's 33 presents.
Yeah.
We can't even really do 1 gift per child. That we don't have, any space for it. They're already starting to ask for things. They're like, oh, I'll just ask Santa. And I'm like, well, I think I have to tell Santa that we can't have any gifts.
Right.
But we want them to have something to feel celebrated and not kind of depressed that day. We thought about doing service, but still, I know that Christmas is not about getting, but for kids, that's still pretty magical.
It's a big deal.
We're trying to figure out what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was telling Julie before that the tiny house movement is about 100 square feet per person, because usually it's 1 or 2 people in a tiny house, and some will be in 150 square feet for a couple. But if we were to follow that rule, we'd be in an 1,100 square foot house, which is not a tiny house, according to the movement. But I think people in the tiny house movement don't even think about. Nobody considers having 9 kids. I mean, we didn't even consider that, but this is a very, very tiny space for us.
It is.
But it works, actually.
Yeah.
We're, people always say, what do your kids feel about it? Kids don't know. They've never lived life before, so they just kind of accept this is what we do,
Well, and you were talking in one of your videos about how everybody always wants to talk to you, and it can get really intense. And for us, we are farmers. And so for me, I really needed to do this so that I was looking my kids in the eye and like sitting down and playing games with them and focusing on them because of what I usually would do in a day.
I think I need to become a farmer.
Right? And have a little bit of space.
Well, tonight Mike and I went for a little walk. We thought we'd take the trash out and kind of walk around, and we always talk about how I am like a magnet for the kids, and like slowly we collected 5 kids by the time the walk was over, and they were hanging all over
They
me.
want mom.
I know, and I'm grateful for my kids, and I love them. But that is the hardest part that we've all had to adjust to is space.
Yeah.
But, you know, people say like, oh, that's a bummer. It's like, dude, the trade-off. So yes, we could have a lot more square footage, but you're locked in. You can't do anything. It's the same routine every day. When we have seen so many incredible things and been to so many places and met so many people, and also just taken ourselves out of the consumer mode, because we were also like married to Amazon Prime, you know, like something coming every day from Amazon Prime. I love Amazon Prime, but we can't do that anymore. So
it's interesting. It's like the only word you can really use for it. It isn't always wonderful, but it isn't always terrible, but it's always interesting. Okay. You are, and how many changes of clothes and everything you have. Camping versus RVing. You don't want to be a hobo anywhere. You really just don't want to be the crazy hobo lady.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, you do bring things that I mean, look at all of Megan's jewelry. Like, you don't bring that if you're camping.
Right. Like, you want to be around people. And a lot of people, like, they think RV, they think I'm going to be alone with my family and we'll have all this togetherness time. Okay. Looks like fun. Watch out for cars, okay? There's a car right there.